What's going on, guys? It's Justin, aka Straight Hacks here. We're going to be going over our first series on the channel. And it's a Pokemon Wi-Fi Draft League. My team, the Charlotte Mega Bees, is going to be participating in the PAC, the Pokemon All-Star Competition. And I'm going to be going over our draft here and what we drafted and why. First, though, let's look at some of the rules that are in this league. For example, we had a budget of 105 points to draft 10 or 11 Pokemon. And we have 2 Terra Captains that we can choose, but they had to be a combined 24 or less points. Those Terra Captains can Terra into any type, but the types will be revealed on team preview to each coach. There are a list of banned Pokemon here, and at the number 4 if you want to read it. Some other bans in terms of abilities are Moody and evasion boosting abilities, as well as some banned moves like Acupressure, Double Team, Shed Tail, Last Respects, things like that, and a couple banned items, Bright Powder, Lax Incense, evasion items. We are enforcing Sleep Clause in this, as well as Species Clause, and we are allowing Dry Pass, but no boosted Baton Pass. So first, let's go into our first draft pick here. Our first round draft pick was Landorus Incarnate, and it was 15 of our 105 points, but it's also a Terra Captain. So that means this Pokemon can Terrestrialize into any type it wants. As you can see, this Pokemon is very good attack and special attack. Great offensive threat here with decent speed and even still some bulk. It's a great mon. It has a great ability in sheer force, and I think it's going to serve us really well as our first Terra Captain. And I think I'm very excited to use it because I've never used a Landorus with Terra, so I think this will be fun. And that moves us to our second round pick. Our second round pick is not a Terra Captain, and it was 20 points of our 105 points, but it is Spectre. Spectre's got 145 special attack on top of 130 speed. This thing hits really hard and is very fast with a great ability in Grim Day. It's a fun mon to use, and I'm very excited to get to use it again. Next, our third round pick, it was Urshifu Rapid Strike. I went with a kind of a top-heavy team here, but with the monster on the board, it was hard to pass up. And another big offensive threat, 130 attack, but still 100 HP in defense, could be used as a physical bulky mon if I need to. Still okay speed at 97 and great ability in Unseen Fist to be able to bypass protect on contact moves. Our fourth round pick was 14 of our points remaining was Deoxys Defense. We have a lot of great offensive threats at the top, and I wanted something to help balance it out, help provide a little more defense. Moves like Teleport for the slow pivot, or it also gets access to things like Stealth Rocks and Spikes, which could be very useful. And just overall amazing defenses, 160 defense and 160 special defense. Lower HP at 50, but with those defenses it doesn't matter so much, and pressure can be useful occasionally. Not the best ability, but we will make it work with as one of our main defensive tanks. Our next pick was Serena. While Serena's only 8 points, it was mainly a pick here because it was one of the very few mods that still has access to Rapid Spin in this generation. So having a Rapid Spinner is not as necessary in this metagame of Scarlet and Violet as it has been in the past, but I still wanted one just in case I decide that I need one for a week if my opponent has stacks a lot of hazards, or just having it as an option is still good when you can. But even if it's not going to be a Rapid Spinner this week, it could still provide some decent bulk with 98 SPDF and defense as well, and still hit hard with 120 attack and an okay ability in Queenly Majesty that helps to prevent priority used against this mon. Our sixth round pick was Incineroar. Another great bulky mod, 90 defense, 90 special defense, 95 HP, and still 115 attack, and it's got one of the best abilities in the game, and Intimidate. Just all around great mon. A lot of fun to use, and using this mon going forward, I have a lot of high hopes for this. Our 7th round pick was Magnezone, another 9-point mon. with 115 defense, 130 special defense, and some good abilities like Sturdy or Magnet Pull to be able to trap steel types, and even Analytic, which could be good if used in the right circumstances. Another mon that hits hard, provides some bulk. Um, Not the best in the case that it needs to often run something like an Air Balloon or Shuckaberry to take those quad effective ground type moves, but it's still a good mod to use, and is going to be a fun one for this season. Our next pick was actually not Comfey originally. I had originally taken Farigiraf here, but in Grace decided to drop it for Comfey because Terra Comfey is something that I have used well and something that has been used well against me. You know, it only has 82 special attack, but 110 SPDF, 100 speed, 90 defense, and having triage to be able to boost healing moves, it can just make it very dangerous if it gets the right circumstances. So this is something that I saw in free agency in the grace period, and I just decided that it was worth dropping for Farigiraf in some of my later mods, which I'll go over after, to be able to get Comfey and make it our second Terra captain. While I probably won't use it Terra as much as Landorus, because Landorus is just crazy with Terra, it's at least another option that could be potentially dangerous and could be a great wall as well if we need it to be, and otherwise be able to just be annoying in general with its boosted healing moves. Our second to last mon here is Green. Originally, I didn't pick Green. I originally had picked Doxbun here, but when I dropped Doxbun to pick up Comfey, I didn't have as many points left over, so I ended up picking Greedent. I've used Greedent well in the past, mostly as a Terra captain. I'm not going to be doing that here because we only get 2, and I think Comfey and Landorus are just much more important than Terra Greedent, even though it can be really good if used well. But I think since it's even as a no Terra, because it's a normal type, it still has the ability to do stuff outside of being Terra with 120 HP, 95 attack, 95 defense. It's very slow at 20 speed, obviously, but with 2 abilities in Cheek Pouch and Gluttony that could help preserve its health, it could still do something. I don't anticipate bringing it much, this one or our last pick, which I'll go over here in a second. But it's there if I decide it's something that I want to move forward with in that week. And then finally, our last pick was Cramorant. Cramorant is the last member of this team for a reason, and that reason is that it's one of the few mods that it gets access to defog still in this generation, because they removed it as a TM, so it's only mods that learn it naturally on level up, and this is one of the very few. It's not something I anticipate bringing very often, if at all. I'll try to bring it at least once because it's fun to be able to bring all your Pokemon at least once, but you know, it's got balanced stats, 85 attack and special attack, 95 SPDF and 85 speed, 70 HP. It's not great, but it serves a purpose. It has its role, and we'll see if we get to bring it at all during the season. And its ability, Gulp Missile, can be interesting if it comes to bringing this Pokemon at all. I just don't anticipate that with the rest of our team that this is something I really am going to decide to bring very often. But real quick, I will go back over our team and recap the full team again. So we have Cramorant as our last pick. We have Greedent. We have Terra Comfey. Again, can Terra Astralize into any type. So very cool that it's not limited to any type. We have Magnezone, Incineroar, Zarina, Deoxys Defense, Urshifu Rapid Strike, Spectre, and our other Terra captain in Landorus Incarnate. I really hope this is going to be a fun season. I'm going to be obviously recording all these games and posting them here on YouTube, and many of my other coaches will be too. This league's not required post, but I know that there are many coaches who are posting, so anytime I'm playing somebody who is posting their games, I'll link them in the description. And otherwise, be sure to like and subscribe, and I will see you guys next week for our first battle.